Emmanuel Herrera, I have you checked in for court. Please stay muted until your case is called.
Good afternoon. There are a few more people on this calendar. I want to wait just a couple of minutes to see if they get there before we begin, but we'll begin at 1:05. All right, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Judge Freund, and I'm the judge here in SeaTac Municipal Court. Before I hear your cases, I want to outline your options for you today. I know a lot of people don't know the difference between contesting, mitigating, and a deferred finding when they're checking boxes on the form. So I'll go over all three of those options for you. The first option, and that is available, may be available to everyone except Mr. Sodi Inidane, because that's a parking ticket and it's not eligible for parking tickets are not eligible. But the first one is called a deferred finding, and that is a program available to everyone once every 7 years on a moving and on a non-moving violation. In that program, if you can have no tickets for 1 year and pay a $150 fee, the ticket will be dismissed, having never appeared on your driving record as a committed finding. The downside is if you get another ticket or don't pay the $150 fee, the deferral is revoked, a committed finding entered, and you'll be liable for the full face value of the ticket on top of the $150 fee. And if you haven't paid the fee, there may also be a $52 default penalty. You are also not eligible for a deferred finding if you have a commercial driver's license. If you're interested in this program and not sure if you qualify, I'm happy to check your record. The next option is to mitigate, which is admitting the infraction took place, but asking for the fine to be reduced. More likely than not, I will reduce the fine and I can give you longer to pay it if you need, or community service. And frankly, for every option, I can give you community service if you'd prefer. And then the final option is to contest the ticket, which is saying there was no infraction that took place, in which case we'll basically have a little trial. We will both review the evidence submitted by the city. I will then place you under oath and hear what you have to say and make a determination using the applicable court rules as to whether the infraction took place. Keep in mind the standard of proof on an infraction is very low. It's called preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not, or just over 50%. So if I find that you probably did it, I will find it committed. And I definitely will not offer a deferred finding, and I likely will not mitigate. So with those options in mind, let me know how you would like to proceed as I call your case. And you may see a number by your name. That's the order in which you logged on, and that's the order in which I'm going to hear the cases. So the first is Mr. Harvey, and that is 3A04200086. How would you like to handle your ticket?
Just mitigation.
Did you get your tabs renewed, and did you get insurance?
Yes, ma'am. My insurance was current. I just had misplaced my card. It was current at the time.
Can you hold that up and just hold it still? I want to just check the dates on that.
Are you able to read that okay?
I can, thank you. And I see, so that is from May 30th, and this is alleged to have occurred on June 1st. So yes, I do see that you had insurance. So I'm going to go ahead and dismiss the no insurance ticket. There is a $25 fee for having not provided insurance at the time. You are required at all times to have proof of insurance with you when you're driving.
I understand that. I'm usually up on that stuff. I apologize. And well, with my
I totally understand how it happens. I just
slipped my mind. My bad. I understand I was in the wrong.
Okay, I appreciate you saying that, sir. So then with regard to the expired tabs, do you have proof that you've renewed those?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. 1 second. I got out too quick this morning. I didn't grab my registration, so I had my wife take a picture of my license plate with the tab on it. I apologize. I didn't bring my registration with me.
Can you expand it to the tab?
Yep. 1 second.
Okay, and I see it is through 2024 now. Excellent. Okay, based on that, I'm going to dismiss count one as well. So it's a total of
Thank you very much.
$25. I'll give you 30 days to pay it. Is that sufficient?
That's awesome. Yes, thank you very much.
You still receive mail at the address on Southeast 260th Street in Covington?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. We'll send you a copy of the order and that has instructions about how to make the payment.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for yours. I appreciate it. Have a great afternoon.
You as well.
Thank you. All right, and the second person to log on is Ms. Vera Rosa. Can you please unmute by hitting *6 and tell me how you'd like to proceed? And this is 3A04135572. Emily Vera Rosas, can you please unmute? Hit *6.
Wait, can you hear me now?
I can. How would you like to proceed?
Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
Mitigation, sorry, I can't pronounce that. Mitigation rate?
Mitigation. Can I ask you, did you
Yeah.
have insurance at the time of this infraction?
Not in that moment, no.
Do you have it now?
No.
Are you able
It
to,
was
go ahead, sorry.
for no license and no insurance. I have the license now, but since I don't have a car, I don't have the insurance.
Oh, I see. Okay. And I do see that you're licensed. Congratulations. You got it very quickly
Thank
afterward.
you.
So I'm going to go ahead and
Yes.
dismiss the no license ticket.
Okay, thank you.
And then the no insurance, since you no longer have a car. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that one too. Do you
Okay,
still
thank you.
do you still receive mail at the address on South 186th Street in SeaTac?
Yes.
Perfect. We will mail you a copy of the order that both of these counts are dismissed. So you don't owe anything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your afternoon. Number 3 is Amaboljai Sodina. Please correct me. I'm sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your name. If you can unmute, sir. You need to unmute. There you go. How do you pronounce your name?
So, Omobolaji Shudende.
Omobolaji
Omobolaji Shudende, exactly. Bolaji, yeah, Shudende. Yes,
Shodende.
exactly.
Well, Mr. Shodende,
Yes.
how would you like to handle your ticket?
Mitigation.
Mitigation? Okay.
I'm first offender. Yeah, I've never done that before.
So as I said, your ticket is, unfortunately, according to the statute, I can only reduce this to $200. I cannot go below that. I must impose $200. Are you interested in doing community service to pay that fine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
So that's 13 hours of community service. I'll give you 3 months to get it done.
Oh, thank you very much.
So by October 20th, you need to either pay $200 or provide proof of 13 hours of community service to the court, okay?
Okay,
And that's at any not-for-profit or state-run agency in the state of Washington.
okay,
Okay. Sir,
okay. Thank you very much.
oh, it didn't bring up your address. Oh, there. Do you still receive mail at the address on 122nd Avenue East in Puyallup?
Exactly.
Perfect. We will send you a copy of the paperwork and instructions on how to provide the proof of community service.
Okay, thank you very much.
Right. Thank you, sir. Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And the next is Simon Bari.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Let me just pull up the order here. And that is 3A0377469. How would you like to handle your ticket?
I do not dispute the facts of the infraction. I was originally asking for mitigation, but I'm thinking the deferred finding is better. $150 is still a lot for me, but I'm more concerned about my record.
And as I said, I can authorize community service if you would like to do that instead. So it's just volunteering at any not-for-profit or state-run agency in the state of Washington. You can choose a place, doing whatever you like to do.
That's a great one.
And I see that this is your only traffic ticket and you do not have a commercial driver's license, so you are eligible.
Yes, exactly, Your Honor.
Okay,
Can I speak to the matter real quick?
sure.
Cool. So I obtained my learner's permit right when I was 15, and I've been licensed since I was 16, 4 years ago. And as you said, I don't have any other infractions on my record so far, despite the fact that, I live in West Seattle. I drive through a lot of monitored school zones. I drive through a lot of counties for hobbies like fishing and stuff. I'm a student at South Seattle College as well, and I'm working towards my associate in business. And as the court knows, as a male under 25, insurance prices are, very high. So I'm a little concerned about that as well. And, therefore, I respectfully ask that the court consider reducing the consequences to the extent possible under the statute.
Thank you. I appreciate that you taking responsibility for it. Your clean driving record up until now. I can fully appreciate the price of insurance. My son just turned 26 and I'm
Oh, yeah.
also, he's paying for his own insurance now, but it's, I think the deferred finding makes sense. I mean, there's a way to keep this off your record. So I will authorize community service in lieu of the fine, but either the money or proof of 10 hours of community service is due to the court by October 20th. I mean, you're welcome to pay it like $50 a month until then too. Also, if you want to do like 5 hours of community service and pay $75 in cash, that's fine too. However you want to do it.
Awesome. And how do I find out where to do that?
It's up to you to find a place. So if you live in West Seattle, like there's the West Seattle Food Bank, church, mosque, synagogue. If you like to hike and fish or whatever, I'm sure there's some conservancy agencies where you could volunteer for an afternoon. Figure out what you like to do and find an agency, a not-for-profit that does it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for those suggestions. And how do I track that just to make sure?
We will send you the paperwork for it that show you how to provide the proof.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. And do you still receive mail at the address on 47th Avenue Southwest in Seattle?
Yes.
Excellent. We will send you everything there.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a great afternoon.
You as well.
Thank you. And the next is Emmanuel Herrera. How would you like to handle your case? You're muted. There you go. So I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I feel like I can hear background noise. Can you try talk? Now I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. How would you like to handle your tickets?
I think it was a mitigation.
Okay. Can I ask you, did you have insurance at the time of this infraction?
I did not. I recently became homeless and I had a job and I just worked so much when that happened. It was completely my fault. I shouldn't have been driving, especially when I was working like 80 hours a week for the job that I was doing. But currently I have a tent in a friend's property and that's where I'm staying right now. And I was able to hook up to his Wi-Fi to make this Zoom meeting.
Do you receive any government benefits right now?
I get food stamps.
Okay. Based on that, I'm going to make the finding that you're indigent. I'm going to basically just close both of these I'm going to find them committed, but not impose any fine.
Okay. Thank you.
Actually, I'm gonna dismiss the no insurance. Well,
Yeah, I don't have a car anymore because it got totaled.
I will dismiss that. I'm dismissing the no insurance and finding committed on the inattentive driving, but not imposing any fine.
Okay.
Can you still receive mail at the address on 47th Avenue South in SeaTac?
No, but I can give you my friend's address.
Where is that?
It's 33005 56th Avenue South, Auburn 98001.
Okay. 33005 56th Avenue South in Auburn.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay, we will update that and mail you the paperwork there, just so you have a record of what happened.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. I hope that you can resolve your situation soon. We have a community court resource coordinator. If you want to reach out to her, her name is Kim Kawasaki, and I can put her number on here if that would be beneficial to you at all, do you think?
Yes, please. That would be very helpful.
Okay. I will add this. Okay, her phone number is on here. Her name is Kim Kawasaki.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mr. Blue Horse, were you on here when I outlined the 3 options available to you?
No, ma'am, and I do apologize. I was having problems logging in. It kept saying I had an invalid meeting ID.
No worries. I'll go over them with you right now. So the first option is called a deferred finding, and that is, let me just, before I go into it, I'll see if you're eligible. And you are eligible for this program. So that is a program available to everyone once every 7 years on a moving and on a non-moving violation. And in that program, if you can have no tickets for 1 year and pay a $150 fee, the ticket will be dismissed at the end of the year, having never appeared on your driving record as a committed finding. The downside is if you do get another ticket or don't pay the $150 fee, the deferral will be revoked, a committed finding entered, and you'll be liable for the full face value of the ticket on top of the $150 fee. And if you haven't paid the fee, there may also be a $52 default penalty.
Okay, understandable.
Okay. The next option is to mitigate, which is admitting the infraction took place, but asking for the fine to be reduced. More likely than not, I will reduce the fine and I can give you longer to pay it if you need. And the final option is to contest the ticket, which is saying there was no infraction that took place, in which case we'll basically have a little trial. We will both review the evidence submitted by the city. I will then place you under oath and hear what you have to say and make a determination as to whether the infraction took place using the applicable court rules. But keep in mind the standard of proof on an infraction is very low. It's called preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not. And if I do find it committed, I will not offer a deferred finding and likely will not mitigate. And for any option, I can offer authorized community service for payment of the fine. So with all that in mind, how would you like to proceed?
I mean, honestly, I would like to speak on it before. I mean, the mitigation would be, I would like to not be on my record, but the whole situation was confusing because I was never given a ticket and I was pulled over by a city of SeaTac police officer on Interstate 5. And I don't even remember if we was even in the city of SeaTac still, like where I had got pulled over at in the area. And when the officer pulled me over, I remember the date. It was February 20th. It was my birthday, actually. And I was taking my grandson home and my nephew from our birthday dinner. And the officer came over. I pulled off to the right shoulder. The officer came to my wife's window. She was in the car. And he told me that I changed lanes too fast. And I was like, I mean, what do you, like, I'm on the freeway. How do I change lanes? And I did get a little upset because he kept saying stuff, and I was like, I used my blinker. But in all honesty, when he came to the window, my wife would even testify on my behalf. He came back to the window. He asked for my license, insurance, gave it to him. Everything's valid. And he kind of like tossed my driver's license and insurance card back in the window and was like, here you go, funny guy. And I never got a ticket like that day. And when he walked back to his car, I looked at my wife and I was like, what just happened? And I was like, and he pulled off. So I just drove off. So I was never even given a ticket the day of the infraction. And then I got it in the mail saying, that it happened in the city of SeaTac, but so I called, and that's why, hey, I was confused. And when I spoke to the court clerk, she said that it was going to be sent off to the Washington State Patrol, and then they would find if they would like take over the case or the hearing.
Well, Washington State Patrol doesn't hold hearings, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I honestly don't. I'm so busy.
The officer indicated here that you actually ticketed you for not having insurance. Did you have insurance at the time of this infraction?
Yeah, I've always had up-to-date insurance. That's what it was. We gave him my insurance card, and it was the expired one. And he never, when I was like, here, I'll pull it up on my phone. I have, the app on my phone, and it will show the up-to-date insurance. And he just never gave me a chance. He just came back to my window and was like, here, get out of here. And I thought I was like I waited. I was like, literally, I looked at my wife, and I was like, I had my grandson, my nephew with me. And I was just like, what happened? Like what?
You have proof of insurance with you right now?
Let me look if I have a card in here. If not, I should be able to share my screen. Bear with me one moment. Because I was driving my Escalade at that time. And
Right, that's what it looks like.
to be honest, I can see. Let me look in my email real quick because I should have. Yeah, because I've always kept insurance. I mean, especially too, the vehicle is. I have a I forget what they're called for the not a cosigner, but it's my bank. So I need to have insurance, or
For the car loan? Yeah.
yeah. So and I've always had insurance. It's just a question of if this one I have, if I show it to you, if it's going to date back to that in question. Because I've been with the same insurance company as well for a long time.
I believe that you have it, but I need to see the proof.
Yeah, no, I
Okay.
completely understand. Give me one moment. There's an app for that. Oh, right here. I knew I had it somewhere. I apologize about that. I should have. That's the thing too, is I left the ticket at home, so I didn't even remember what all the infractions. So I forgot that I even had a no insurance on there. Okay. Oh yeah, this will be members best auto 11-4. Okay, let me see if I'm able to share my screen. I've never shared my screen on a phone, so please forgive me.
Yeah. On the alternate, if you can forward that email to the court.
Okay, I should be able to share my screen. It's giving me a. Is there a way if I email it right now, you'd be able to see it? Because I can.
Yes,
Send
if
it.
you email it to municipalcourt@seatacwa.gov.
Okay. Do you want the actual card? I mean, I have a liability that shows.
What I need
All-
is proof that you had insurance on February 20th, 2023.
Okay. If this will work. Okay. And that email address one more time.
Municipalcourt@seatacwa.gov.
Municipal court at SeaTac. Municipal court at SeaTac dot.
SeaTacwa, SeaTacWA,
Okay.
.gov.
Okay, that should have went through. Yeah, so like I said, I'm just confused on the whole.
So I'm going to read to you or well, you're on a phone, so it might be kind of tiny. I got your screenshot. And I see proof of insurance from November 4th, 22 to November 4th, 23. February is certainly within that, so I will dismiss count 2 with a $25 administrative fee. You are required to have proof of insurance at all of current insurance.
Well, that's what I was saying. I had it. He never gave me the opportunity to show it. He left when he came back and said, "You gave me expired insurance." I go, "I apologize. I'll pull it up on my phone." And I said, "I'm still trying to, why I got a ticket. You're saying I changed lanes too fast." And then he just threw me back my license and insurance card and was like, I said, "Here's my insurance. Look." And he wouldn't look at it. He walked away from my car. And when he drove off, I was lit like, and
So what he cited you for was when you changed lanes on the freeway, you changed lanes and turned on your blinker simultaneously when you're required to have your blinker on for 100 feet before making the turn. That's what he cited you for.
Yeah, no, I had my blinker on well before
So that's not what he said, and he watched you do this several times. He was trailing you for a while.
I don't know how.
I'm telling you what the allegation is. I wasn't there. I'm just telling you, this is, you said you were confused as to why he stopped you. That's why. So you are, I mean, I think the overwhelming majority of drivers on I-5 do the exact same thing that is described here. It is not consistent with the law. You are required to indicate, then turn, then switch lanes. but I'm going to go ahead and dismiss that ticket. I am going to charge the $25 administrative fee. You are required to provide insurance, valid insurance when requested.
I appreciate that, but he never gave me the chance to show him my insurance.
Well, he did, because you just told me that you showed him expired insurance, so you did have.
No, and then when I tried to show him, oh, here it's on my phone, he walked away from us. Because my wife had it pulled up on her phone and I had it pulled up on my phone as well. And he would not look at it. He walked away from us. That's what I thought he was walking back to his car to get the ticket because he never handed me a ticket. And then the lights turned off and he drove off. And I looked at my wife and I was just like, what just happened? Like, I was genuinely confused.
Sir, I've made my decision. I understand what you're
That's fine.
saying. It appears to me that according to the officer, you guys basically got in a shouting match. So, you want someone to give you the benefit of the doubt, then you have to give them the benefit of the doubt too.
But I don't need, I honestly, I need my license for work. And
Sir, I've made my decision. Do you still receive mail at the address on 2nd Street in Marysville?
yes, ma'am.
Perfect. We will send you a copy of the order, and that has instructions about how to make the payment.
So what does it mean? Is this going to go on my record or?
No, it's dismissed.
Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate it, Your Honor.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Good afternoon. I know your hearing's not until 2, but you're here and I'm here, so might as well take care of it now and get you on your way. Oh, still connecting. She looks frozen too. Up. You need to connect to audio. Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Hi, I know your hearing's not until 2, but you're here and I'm here, so I thought might as well just take your hearing. What's your name? Ray Chen. Can you hear me, Ms. Chen?
Yeah,
Okay. And this is 3A032000. And you're here to contest a ticket for following too closely and no insurance, is that right?
yeah,
Okay, so just to be clear, contesting is saying there was no infraction that took place. In which case we will basically have a little try. You still there, Ms. Chen? Ms. Chen? Ms. Chen? Hi, Ms. Chenwiller. The person I was talking to seems to be having technical issues. Are you ready?
Good afternoon.
Hi.
For the record, Cynthia Chenwell for the City of SeaTac. The 145 test infraction tree calendar. We have proposed resolutions requesting defense appearances be waived, all the matters.
Okay, go ahead and run through them.
Gulad Nur Abdi, 3A0420084. City's moving to amend to wear seatbelt and RSW 46.61.688. Defendant agrees to commit a finding with a fine of $145 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered. A fine of $145 assessed due by September 20th.
JAMA Aiden, 2A0404934. City is moving to amend a failure to wear seatbelt. Defendant agrees to committed finding that amended infraction with a fine of $139 due in full by September 20th, 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered. A fine of $139 assessed due by September 20th.
Naomi Alamu, 3A0377456. City is moving to amend failure to wear seatbelt. Defense agrees to commit a finding, recommend fine of $145. Due in full by September 20th, 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed will enter. A fine of $145 assessed due by September 20th.
Asley A. Edie, 3A0161368. City's moving to amend to failure to expired vehicle registration less than 2 months. Defense agrees to a committed finding time amended infraction. The fine of $139 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amend will be granted. A finding of committed entered. A fine of $139 assessed due by September 20th.
Mamwe Huro, 3A0075480.
This is not signed by the defense attorney.
Yes, Mr. Ahmed did not have access to O courts. I did put in order defendant agreed via email. I can forward that to the court if you would like as well.
No, I think as long as you've got it, should it be contested? I'll accept your I'll accept your representation as an officer of the court.
Thank you. Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of hard because there's not a box down below further. It's up
Right.
above the,
Okay.
okay. So per the parties agreement, city's moving to dismiss the following vehicle too closely, moving to amending passing on the left to expire vehicle registration over 2 months. Defendant agrees to commit a finding that amended infraction by $196 due in full by September 20th of 2020.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered on the amended charge. A fine of $196 assessed due by September 20th.
Nicole Kasparova, 3A0075499. City's moving to amend by vehicle registration over 2 months. Defense agrees to commit a finding at a fine of $196 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered. A fine of $196 assessed due by September 20th.
Getty Keifel, 3A02617763. City's moving to amend to fair to wear safety belts. Defense agrees to commit a findings at amended infraction with a fine of $139 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered on the amended charge. A fine of $139 assessed due by September 20th.
Edmundo Pacina Jr., 3A0353217. City's moving to amend to fair to wear safety belt. Defense agrees to commit a finding to that amended infraction with a fine of $145 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amending is granted. A finding of committed entered on the amended charge. A fine of $149 assessed due by September 20th.
Manjinger Singh, 3A0034189. Mr. Silva is the attorney of record in this case. He also doesn't generally utilize courts.
You should. Sorry.
I know. So I did indicate defense counsel approved via email. I do have a copy of an email as well where he attached his own order, but I thought it'd be too confusing to use two separate orders.
Agreed. Okay.
So I just let him know that I would represent to the court that he approved or agreed via email, if that's acceptable to the court.
That's fine.
So the city's moved to amend to fair to wear safety belt. Defense agrees to commit a findings at amended infraction and a fine of $145 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered on the amended charge. A fine of $145 assessed due by September 20th.
Mir Wayfay, 3A0346663. Parties are close to resolution asking the court to grant the agreed or joint motion to continue some further investigation to be done as well.
Motion to continue is granted. I'll accept the speedy trial waiver through December 15th, 2023, and we'll set this on for August 17th at 1:45.
Thank you. All right, and we have Jonas S. Waratel, 3A0075471. City's moving to amend expired vehicle registration over 2 months. Defense agrees to commit a findings at amended infraction. The fine of $196 due in full by September 20th of 2023.
Motion to amend is granted. A finding of committed entered on the amended charge. A fine of $196 assessed due by September 20th. All righty. Thank you, Ms. Chenweller. See you Monday.
Thank you. And we were so fast. If I can be excused, and if we did attempt to contact everybody, but if somebody pops on, you could just please refer them to our office.
Sure.
I don't, yeah, I mean, it's 1:48, but we were fast.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right, Ms. Chen, sorry about that. Are you still there?
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, so you again have these two charges: following vehicle too closely, and operating with no insurance. Can you please put your video on?
Ma'am, her video is right now is actually not working. It's like unhighlighted. I don't know.
Okay.
It's like unhighlighted. It was working earlier, right, as you saw, but now it's like unhighlighted. So I've been trying to help her out, right, with her technology, but it's not been working.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate your assistance. Well, we can carry on this way. I've seen Ms. Chen. So to be clear, contesting the infraction is saying there was no infraction that took place. In that case, we will basically have a little trial. We will, can you stay unmuted though, please, Ms. Chen?
No problem.
We'll basically have a little trial. We will both review the evidence submitted by the city, and I will then place you under oath and hear what you have to say and make a determination as to whether the infraction took place using the applicable court rules. Your other two options that may be available to you today, the first one, I'm checking right now to see if you are eligible. And unfortunately, you used your deferral in 2020, so you are not eligible for deferred finding. So your only other option would be to mitigate, which is admitting the infraction took place, but asking for the fine to be reduced. And more likely than not, I will reduce the fine and I can give you longer to pay it if you need. And for either, whether you contest or mitigate, I can authorize community service for the payment of the fine. So with those options in mind, how would you like to proceed?
哦，佢話你想唔想做然後呢個
Ms. Chen, do you require an interpreter?
Yes, that would be helpful. 'Cause I'm not
Okay.
the best.
So what we can do is reschedule this hearing. We do not have an interpreter available today. This is not an interpreter calendar, but I can put these on next week. Next Thursday. Oh, nope, 2 Thursdays from now, sorry. On the 3rd. I mean, rather the 2nd. At 1:15 in the 1:15. Will that work for you?
Yes. And this is August 2nd, correct?
Correct.
That'll be fine.
Okay. At the same login information. What language?
Chinese.
Mandarin or Cantonese?
Cantonese.
Do you still receive mail at the address on 24th Avenue Southwest in Federal Way?
Yeah.
Okay. We will send you a copy of the order.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Enjoy
day.
your afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Figueroa. You're a little early, but we're here, so might as well handle your case, or Mr. Santian Figueroa. How would you, I want to outline a couple of options that you may have today. I'm just checking your history. The first option that may be available to you is called a defer, or I'm going to wait for this person too, so I can just go through these once. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, Mr. Santian, I'm pretty sure you can, but I want to, can the person on the OnePlus, can you hear me?
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. What's your name, sir? On the OnePlus. You need to unmute. What's your name, sir?
Brian Poor.
Thank you. Okay, so I want to review options for both of you guys
Okay.
before I hear your cases. The first option is only available to Mr. Santian. I see you used your deferral back in 2016. Well, no, it's you're right at the 7-year mark, but it's not 7 years yet. So the first option is only available to you once every 7 years on a moving and on a non-moving violation. And that's called a deferred finding. And that's a program where if you can have no tickets for 1 year and pay $150 fee, the ticket will be dismissed, having never appeared on your driving record as a committed finding. The downside is if you do get another ticket or don't pay the $150 fee, the deferral will be revoked, a committed finding entered, and you'll be liable for the full face value of the ticket on top of the $150 fee. And if you haven't paid the fee, there's also a $52 default penalty. The next option is to mitigate the ticket, which is admitting the infraction took place, but asking for the fine to be reduced. And this option is available to both of you. More likely than not, I will reduce the fee or fine, and I can give you as long to pay it as you need. However, it will show up on your driving record as a committed finding. And the final option is to contest the ticket, which is saying there was no infraction that took place, in which case we'll basically have a little trial. We will both review the evidence submitted by the city. I will then place you under oath and hear what you have to say and make a determination using the applicable court rules. Keep in mind the standard of proof on an infraction is very low. It's called preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not. And if I do find that you probably committed the infraction, that's enough, and I will find it committed. In that case, I will not offer a deferred finding, and I likely will not reduce the fine. So as I call your case, let me know how you'd like to proceed. Mr. Figueroa, your charge is like, you were here first, so I'm going to handle yours first. And you're here for an electronic device while driving. Just so you understand the statute, if it's in your hand, you've committed the infraction. You do not need to be using it. You do not need, you could be using GPS, that would still be a violation. Literally in your hand, it's an infraction. If you're moving it from one place to another, it's in your hand and that's an infraction. Okay, so that, I haven't read it. I know nothing about your case. I just want you to know what the law says before you make a decision. Okay, so with that in mind, how would you like to handle your ticket?
Well, I would like the first option best because I don't want it on my record.
I don't blame you because you've got a nice clean driving record. And I'm very happy to authorize to give you a deferral.
Thank you.
Okay, so again, no tickets or criminal traffic violations for 1 year and pay the $150 fee. How long do you need to pay that, do you think? And are you interested in community service for the fee or fine?
I'm pretty sure my parents already called to go pay the fee, and I'm pretty sure they called it like a week after I got it.
I don't think anybody's paid it yet.
As soon as we can pay it, as soon as we
Okay,
can.
so 30 days is enough?
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be due by August 31st.
All
And do you
right.
still receive mail at the address on 13th Place South in Des Moines?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent, that's where we'll send the notice. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank
You're all
you.
set. Enjoy your afternoon.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Poor, how would you like to handle your case?
With the first option, Your Honor?
So you used a deferral back in 2016 and it has not been a year, 7 years yet.
Okay.
It's very close. If you wanted, frankly, if you wanted to continue this hearing for a month, then it would be over 7 years and I would offer it.
Oh, what does that mean?
That seems like you're so close. We're talking 2 weeks. So
I won't get in trouble anymore.
it's more a matter of,
obey the limit.
it's more a matter of what I'm legally allowed to do.
Right, I understand.
It's not a desire, but you're so close. I'm going to go ahead and offer it. I
Thank
have
you.
some discretion. Okay. Did you have insurance at the time of this infraction?
No, I didn't, but I do have it now.
Okay, then I'll include that in there. So I'm deferring both of these for 1 year. Just to be clear, that's one $150 fee.
Okay.
Are you interested in doing community service for the fee?
No, I can pay it as soon as possible. Like right after we get done, I can go down to the courthouse and pay it.
Oh, okay, great. I'll set it due then by August 21st. So you have 90 days to do that.
Perfect.
So again,
I'll pay it
no,
today.
no tickets or criminal traffic violations, and pay the 150, and a year from now it'll be dismissed, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your
All
Honor.
right, thank you, sir. Do you still receive mail at the address on South 202nd Street in SeaTac?
Yes, I do.
Excellent. If that changes, be sure you update it.
I will.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Enjoy your afternoon, and maybe we'll see you this afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. You will see me. I'm gonna get my shoes on and come right down.
Okay, perfect. We can give you a copy of the order when you get here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good afternoon, Ms. Gaston. There you are. Sorry, you kept moving on my screen. I was like, wow, where'd she go?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So I see that you are here to contest a ticket for speeding. Before I hear that, I want to just outline your options for you today.
Okay.
The first option that is available to you, it looks like, do you have an out-of-state driver's license?
Yes, I am not from Washington State.
Do you have a commercial driver's license?
For like
driving trucks?
No, I do not know.
Okay. So the first option that is available to you is called a deferred finding, and that is a program available to everyone once every 7 years on a moving and on a non-moving violation. That is a program where if you can have no tickets for 1 year and pay a $150 fee, the ticket will be dismissed, having never appeared on your driving record as a committed finding. The downside is if you don't pay the fee or get a new criminal traffic violation or a new ticket, the deferral will be revoked, a committed finding entered, and you'll be liable for the full face value of the ticket on top of the $150 fee. And if you haven't paid the fee, there may also be a $52 default penalty. The next option is to mitigate, which is admitting the infraction took place, but asking for the fine to be reduced. More likely than not, I will reduce the fine, and I can give you longer to pay it if you need. It will, however, show up on your driving record as a committed finding. And the final option is to contest it, which is saying there was no infraction that took place, in which case we'll basically have a little trial. We will both review the evidence submitted by the city. I will then place you under oath and hear what you have to say and make a determination as to whether the infraction took place using the applicable court rules. Keep in mind, the standard of proof on an infraction is very low. It's called preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not. And if I do find it committed, I will not mitigate or ask for or offer a deferred finding.
Okay.
So with those options in mind, how would you like to handle your ticket?
May I ask a question about the first one more time?
Of course.
So the first option about the 1 year. So if I choose that option, what other circumstances were related besides not getting in a traffic infraction for 1 year and paying the $150 fee?
No
I heard
criminal,
7 years. I heard 7 years as well.
So you're only eligible once every 7 years. You can't get one again for 7 years.
Okay, got it.
On a
Okay.
moving violation. Your speeding is a moving violation. So if you had expired tabs or something, you could still use it on that because that's a non-moving.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to choose that option, to be honest. Yeah, I would like to go with that option.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you in Washington State? Or you're in a different state entirely?
Yes, I travel to Washington State for work, but pretty frequently, but I'm based in California at the moment.
Okay, so then I can't really authorize community service because you would need to perform it in Washington State. So if you wanted to come up here and do some volunteer work, you're more than welcome. But it needs to be in Washington. Are you interested in that option as a way to pay the fine? It would be 10 hours of community service instead of paying the fine or the fee rather.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know how that would happen super easily.
Yeah.
Because when I travel for work, it's definitely
I'm sure you're like cutting
Yeah.
and then okay. All right.
Yeah. Paying the fine is not the issue. It's definitely the violation itself and it appearing on my license. So I want to try to mitigate those as much as I can. So if the option is to pay the $150, thank you for offering the community service. I just don't know how I could get that done.
No, I understand.
pretty easily.
Is 30 days sufficient, or would you like more time to pay the fee?
No, 30 days is it, well, what method of payments, but I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
Credit card, check, money order, anything but cash, frankly. We're cashless, the whole city
Got
is
it.
for some reason.
Got it.
Okay,
Okay,
all right, so that's due by August the 21st.
okay, and am I gonna get information on how to pay that or?
Yes, and
Okay.
we'll send you a copy of the order. Do you still receive mail at the address on Lancashire Boulevard in North Hollywood?
Yes, that is my current address, yes.
Perfect, we will send everything there. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Judge. Have a great day.
You too, bye-bye. No, Madam Clerk, I forgot that we have 2 failures to appear on the 1 o'clock calendar. Might as well knock those out.
Okay.
And that was DeMorris Hall. Um, 3A02617777. He actually requested that the hearing be rescheduled from the last date to this date. And was advised of that. Notice was sent out back in early June. No indication he called the court, no indication notice was returned, and finding failure to appear in a default finding will enter. And the other one is Juan Vasquez Bautista. And that's 3A00999155. The address was verified back in February. He called also in early June asking to reschedule this hearing. Notice was issued, no indication it was returned, no indication. He called the court today and finding failure to appear in a default finding will enter. Let's see if he got his driver's license. Oh, he got his driver's license. Can we resummon? I'm gonna actually resummons. To the next available. I think this is a
Okay.
case where I'd indicated if he got his license, I would dismiss. I vaguely remember him. I am finding a failure to appear for purposes of speedy trial. And we'll give Mr. Omar Yusuf, a couple more minutes to get here.
Looks like we do have a phone number who just logged on, so I'll let them in.
Hi, can you please unmute by hitting *6? You're in court now. Individual who's, there we go. Hi, what's your name?
Hello, my name is Omar Yusuf.
Perfect timing. All right. And this is 3A017820. This is Judge Freund with SeaTac Municipal Court. So I see you're here to contest a ticket for failing to carry or display vehicle registration. I just want
Yes.
to be run through your options for you today. And I'm just checking your history to see what's available. The first option is called a deferred finding, and that is available to everyone once every 7 years on a moving and on a non-moving violation. And this is a non-moving violation, I believe. And in that program, if you can have no tickets for 1 year and pay a $150 fee, the ticket will be dismissed, having never appeared on your driving record as a committed finding. The downside is if you don't pay the fee or get a new ticket or criminal traffic violation, the deferral will be revoked, a committed finding entered, and you'll be liable for the full face value of the ticket on top of the $150 fee. The next option is to mitigate the ticket, which is admitting the infraction took place, but asking for the fine to be reduced. More likely than not, I will reduce the fine and I can give you longer to pay it if you need. And the final option is to contest the ticket, which is saying there was no infraction that took place. in which case we'll basically have a little trial. We will both review the evidence submitted by the city. I will then place you under oath and hear what you have to say and make a determination as to whether the infraction took place using the applicable court rules. Keep in mind, the standard of proof on an infraction is very low. It's called preponderance of the evidence, or more likely than not. And if I do find it committed, I will not offer a deferred finding and very likely will not mitigate. So with those options in mind, how would you like to handle your ticket?
I'll go with the first option.
Are you interested in doing community service for the fine? Or the fee, rather?
No.
Okay.
I had my temporary registration in my phone, but the officer was not accepting on my phone because it was a new course. I didn't have the tag.
So they should
The
give you,
plate.
they didn't give you a trip permit?
That day, I had the car detailed cleaned, and they threw it out the plastic. I mean the paper.
Yeah,
But I
you're
had the picture
required
and
to
everything.
have that. Having it on your phone is not sufficient. You need to have it on the car. Okay, so I will though grant the deferred finding. How long do you need to pay the $150? Is 30 days enough?
Yes, that's enough.
Okay, so by August 21st, you'll need to pay that. Do you still receive mail at the address on South Holly Street in Seattle?
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. We'll send you a copy of the order there, and that has instructions about how to make the payment.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Enjoy your afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that's everybody. Right on. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.